Hello, everyone, and welcome to another bass singer reaction and the fourth and final planned Halloween theme reaction for this spooky season month of October. Now, this does not mean this will for sure be the last one, but it's the last one that I have planned officially, set in stone. This is coming out. When you see it, it will be October 25th, I believe. That's the Monday coming up. And to the patrons, just 2 days before on Saturday. Guys, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe. That helps my channel grow, helps that old algorithm. And if you really are enjoying everything and you're getting a lot from it, please consider donating to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month and help support me as a young performing artist. Guys, this is the most requested song so far. I started doing reactions early July, and no song, not a single song has been requested more than this one. So this is really the moment you've all been waiting for as far as my channel is concerned. So I'm not going to waste any of your time. Let's go ahead and dive in to VoicePlay's cover of the Oogie Boogie song from The Nightmare Before Christmas. A true classic. And, yeah, let's, woo, I can feel the pressure from this one. It's been hanging. It's just been on my back for months at this point because you guys have been requesting so much. And I'm glad to finally be able to present my analysis on this piece. So let's go ahead and break it down. VoicePlay, Halloween style. Here we go.
Well, what have we here? Santa Claus, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared. So you're the one everybody's talking about. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. You're joking me. You gotta be. This can't be the right guy.
He dances exactly.
I don't know which is worse. I might just split a seam now if I don't die laughing first. Mister.
Oh, it's so fun. So Jeff now is really doing more voice acting than he is singing so far, which I love. Oh, I can't believe my eyes. He's getting up in that kind of like high mix voice, like it's really, if you actually check out the notes, like way up there. It's got to be like way up towards like a high A. It's funny when you do character voices like that, sometimes you can almost trick your voice into getting way higher than you can really sing. I know Jeff can sing that high, but for some reason when you're doing the voice acting thing, it just sounds so easy. And it does kind of go up into that mixed voice if you know how to do that. But I love the character acting. It's so fun, and it's really paying homage to the original, which is pretty much the entire original. Excuse me, let me scratch out my eye socket here. Ooh. The original is pretty much all voice acting. Another observation, having just recently checked out the original to get some reference, totally not sung by a bass. Really more of a baritone, high baritone maybe. So it's but I think the bass voice suits this song well, especially because Jeff can really open up the bottom and do that kind of overdarkened monster. Thurl Ravenscroft. God, I mess his voice up every time. Thurl Ravenscroft. He does that voice, and we love it when Jeff does that. But this is going to be, such an interesting combination of this really high, like crazy man character voice, and the low stuff, which comes later. So it's great. It's a great intro. It's so much fun. I love all these background singers. Who we have here? We have Ellie. Jay Nunn when he was in the group, and Earl when he was in the group. This video is a few years old at this point, and really one of their most famous, I think. And they're all doing these. I think in the original, it's like these little kids that are hanging around. or like skeletons on the wall or whatever. And they're really diving into characters. Like, they're really not singing at all. They're just kind of jumping in with those character lines. But you also, I mean, because it's an a cappella piece, you do have them doing the instrumentation from the original. So they're jumping back and forth between singing, full-on singing like they do for the background of an a cappella piece, and doing just full-on character acting, you know, the words not pitched, you know, not singing notes, just putting on these kind of character voices. I've really been encouraged to take my time if I feel like taking my time, which is so wonderful. So thank you guys for allowing me to indulge that way. You know, so let's go ahead and let's jump back and watch this whole section again. So a few things to pay attention to. One, just Jeff getting really charactery. All of them getting very charactery and totally not. They're not worrying about the singing so much. And then watch the background guys go back and forth between actually singing and then just doing full-on character voices. One more thing, and I'm 99% sure I'm right here, but correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Jeff is doing both the bass line and the lead in this. So, because there are some bass lines that I know other people in the group can cover. This definitely sounds like a Jeff bass line. So I think he's doing both here. If you guys know otherwise, please comment below. But I think that's what's happening. So let's jump back, pay attention to all those things, and have some fun. I mean, that was a genuine laugh at the end of that section. I think this is just such a fun piece.
Well, what have we here?
Well, what have we here? It's like way up here. It's like up around like E4, F, somewhere in there. You know, the notes kind of slide all over the place, but high, you know, totally, I mean, well away from Jeff's speaking voice, for example. So that's what's fun about the character voice. You can really stretch it way up there when you're doing some fun voices.
Santa Claus, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared. So you're the one everybody's talking about. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. You're joking me. You gotta be. This can't be the right guy.
He's ancient, he's ugly.
I don't know which is worse.
He's ancient, he's ugly, I don't know which is worse. I cackled when I heard that in the original. That is such a funny line.
I might just split a seam now if I don't die laughing first. Mr. Oogie Boogie says there's trouble close at hand. You better pay attention now, cause I'm the boogeyman. And if you aren't shaking, there's something very wrong, cause this may be the last time you hear the boogie song.
Ooh, that was cool. This may be da. Listen to that cool background part. I love it when backgrounds interject on the offbeats. So it's not like here, it's da. Watch this. Watch this goon squad in the background.
I'm the boogeyman. And if you aren't shaking, there's something very wrong, cause this may be the last time you hear the boogie song.
I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. So we got an A flat there. That sounded like full-on chest to me. That sounded like Jeff was letting that belt out there. So props to Jeff, showing a lot of range already. And, you know, doing that kind of character stuff kind of helps you get up there a little bit. Kind of prepares the voice for that. So he's not going from, like, low misty mountains straight to a high A flat. Anyway, let's keep going.
Well, if I'm feeling antsy and there's nothing much to do,
I might just cook a special batch of steak and spider stew.
And don't you know the one thing that would make it work so nice?
a roly-poly Santa Claus.
To to add a little spice.
Oh, a lot of okay. So here's another. Then this section is highlighting how they're jumping back and forth between singing and these like totally characterized voices. Except what was interesting here, there were some. I mean, there were moments when they were actually intentionally singing pitches and singing accurate harmonies while doing the character voices. So that's interesting. So you know, there's some level in certain cases where they're doing both at once. Sometimes they'll sing clean a cappella, then they'll do a character voice, then they'll actually sing notes, melodies, harmonies, whatever, while doing the character voice. A great effect for a piece like this. It's not something you want to do a lot, because usually when you're doing a character voice, you're intentionally causing some kind of unhealthy, unsustainable turbulence with your voice. So you don't want to be doing it all the time, but it's so good to be used sparingly to add the kind of funny effect or add the character effect in a piece like this. So that's great. I stopped right there at the end, and right before I stopped, there was this crazy bass line. Gosh, this eye socket is really itching me. Really itching. Go figure. Jeff does this like, it's like this. I mean, it sounds very much like a bass guitar, clearly edited in some way. But I'm wondering, I can't remember if there was a discussion in the Discord about the Bass Singing Nation Discord about this. If he did this in chest or if it was all subs, because subharmonics really do give a much more kind of bass guitar like sound, just based on how the harmonic series stacks upon the fundamental. But let's go back and listen to this, because that was totally cool and not something I've heard done often, where the voice, I mean, really sounded like a bass guitar. So I think that's certainly a combination of what Jeff's doing vocally and a combination of, and I'm sure largely on the editing side. I'll flag it when it comes up.
And don't you know the one thing that would make it work so nice?
A roly-poly Santa Claus.
To add a little spice.
It sounds like subharmonics, but way higher than you would normally do them. Which would mean you would sing at an octave higher than that to do subharmonics. So who knows? Someone, Marcello or one of the other guys from BSN, I feel like we've had this conversation before, so put that down in the comment section and let people know what's going on there. Also, Jeff is getting down to he's getting down to C sharps, D flat 2s every time he gets down to Oogie Boogie, man. That bit there. Just so everyone's aware.
Release me now, you must face the dire consequences. The children are expecting me, so please come to your senses.
You're joking, I can't believe my ears.
When someone shut his up.
I'm drowning in my tears.
Okay, cool. Growl or sub on the E1. Let's see. What does this sound like?
Please come to your senses.
You're joking, I can't believe my ears.
When someone shut his up.
I'm drowning in my tears.
B1 there in chest. Okay, that is super cool. It sounds like both, because it doesn't sound like a clean. I'm talking about the super low bass content. It doesn't sound like a clean subharmonic, because a clean subharmonic, when layered under in the background, that kind of just sounds like a subwoofer almost, depending on how you edit it. But this has much more breath behind it, and growls are very, very breathy. Growls, just if you hear them live in a room, no amplification, no nothing, it sounds mostly just like air, because the bass frequency pretty much just gets contained within the vocal track, and then you just hear the breath coming out, the extra air. If you do them into a microphone, then the bass frequencies can be amplified, but growls are not loud in person with no microphone. Not loud at all. That's a funny thing you get with this produced a cappella music, where you'll hear a growl and it's like, oh my gosh, that growl was so big, it like rumbled the whole room. Not a thing without microphones, without amplification. Anyway, I'm not sure if this is an E1 sub or an E1 growl, or perhaps at the same time, because it sounds like you have the kind of fundamental sound of an E1 sub harmonic, but you also get that extra almost breathiness, extra air added like you would from a growl down there. So again, people who know what's going on there, because there's people who've chatted with guys in VoicePlay and confirmed some of these low notes for low note compilations and things like that. Let me know what's going on here, because that'd be good for knowing. I'm sure everyone watching this video, oh my God, if you've made it far enough to listen to all the analysis so far, you'll probably be willing to go a step further and wait and see what's going on there. So let's go back and hear those again, because they're beefy and awesome, and then we'll keep going. Yes, this is going to be a long one, folks. This is going to be a long one. We've waited so long for it, and now it's finally here. Let's continue.
Please come to your senses.
You're joking, I can't believe my ears.
When someone shut this up,
I'm drowning in my tears.
it's funny. I'm laughing. You really are too much.
See, like those character voices, it's funny, where he's like putting a ton of grit behind his voice, Earl, and then J Nun too. Not sustainable. Great for this video, not sustainable long term, but it's wonderful. I love the commitment to serving the Halloween. I mean, if they were all singing like, what are the words here?
I can't believe my ears.
When someone shut this up,
I'm drowning in my tears.
it's funny. I'm laughing.
It's funny. It's funny. If they sang it like that, no, absolutely not.
You really are too much.
You really are too much. You know, if you sing those lines clean, they don't make any sense in the context of the Halloween song. So you do have to sacrifice some vocal quality and some vocal health to do pieces like this. And that's just part of the game. That's just part of what makes these pieces come to life and what makes them, I don't want to say not believable in the sense like this is reality, but convincing in the sense that they are pulling off the characters from this made up reality. You know what I mean?
And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna do the best I can. Hit it!
The sound of rolling dice to me is music in the air. 'Cause I'm a gambling boogeyman, although I don't play fair.
We just went up some amount. E flat minor? Is that where we are?
It's much more fun, I must confess.
With lives on the line.
Not mine, of course, but yours, oh boy. Now that'll be just fine.
Release.
I think you might have just touched a B flat there and scooped up to an E flat.
Be faster, you will have to answer for this heinous act.
Oh, brother, you're something. You put me in a spin.
You are comprehending the position that you're in.
Earl's really committed there to the character voice. I love it. Also, there was a weird, it sounded octavized. Let's go back. There was someone singing along with Earl, but pitched down or sung down, but it sounded like pitched down, where it sounds like clearly the sound is too round and dark for the pitch being sung. That's what happens when you take a pitch and you just tune it down, because the formants change. The formants get all funky, and it results in a pitch that, you know, it's like way morphed, basically, without going into too much audio engineering detail. But listen to that while Earl sings that last line.
For this heinous act.
Oh, brother, you're something. You put me in a spin.
You are incomprehension.
See, like, on that pitch, no one's voice really, I guess someone's voice could sound like that, but it clearly sounds like way over. What I'm doing is I'm I'm just blocking everything with my tongue, so it sounds really dark and where it sounds like I'm tuning my voice down right now, but I'm not. You know what I mean? So you can do that if you manipulate your vocal tract. Maybe someone was doing that here, or let's go back and listen one more. Just listen to that pitch down voice. You guys decide. Do you think that's someone doing something like I was just doing, or do you think it was just someone singing and they pitched it down?
Something, you put me in a spin.
You aren't comprehending the position that you're in.
It's hopeless.
That's pitched. That's definitely pitched down.
You have finished.
You haven't got a prayer.
Cause I'm Mr. Oogie Boogie, and you ain't going nowhere.
So that moment there with the E. Yeah, I guess they modulated up again at some point to E minor. That, I mean, is this the most iconic bass moment in modern bass a cappella music? Maybe in modern music, because bass stuff doesn't really happen anywhere else. I mean, this is the moment, guys. This is the moment when Jeff goes from "I'm the Oogie Boogie Man," a high B, down to an E1 chest fry. And the top note is either chest or some chest dominant mix. I mean, it is the most, for sure, the most impressive display of range that Jeff does and that you get in pretty much anywhere. I mean, it's so, the high belt is so good, so rock solid. It's even got a little grit in it, which I love. I love if you can pull that off. Then he goes all the way down to a B1 chest, clean as smooth as silk, and then into a beautiful sustained E1 subharmonic. I mean, that is just bonkers to do that. And of course, like, whatever, there's some editing done, so like the E1 sounds as loud as like the high belt. Not humanly possible, obviously. Jeff does he actually does this live on his TikTok where he sings it full out, the whole thing, and you can hear like the obvious difference in like volume between, even though phone microphones compress everything in a weird way. So honestly, on a phone mic, sometimes really loud high notes will sound just as loud as low notes. In reality, totally not the case. Subharmonics, from everything I've heard in person, are pretty darn quiet compared to singing in like normal chest voice higher up in your range. I have yet to hear like a truly powerful subharmonic in person, and I've heard a lot of them at this point. Anyway, it's an amazing, amazing moment from Jeff. Maybe the most iconic bass singer moment. I'm not going to say ever, because that would be, I'm just not going to get into that. But certainly, it's one moment that we all think of when we think cool bass moments in the last few years and in the a cappella scene. And a very impressive vocal demonstration from Jeff. That's that. Obvious pit vipers there. Overall, I thought the song was super well done. Stayed so true to the original. There was so much commitment to the character voices, but enough singing to where it still maintains, the musicality of it. Everyone did such a great job. The costuming was fun. What a perfect piece for Jeff to flex his voice acting character muscles and to show really the full breadth of his vocal range, which is one of the reasons he's so successful and that people respect his voice so much, is because he really is solid and reliable and consistent throughout an absurd amount of vocal range. He's really he's really kind of set the new standard and kind of shown bass singers what's possible if you can learn how to stretch your voice in both directions with extended techniques and learning how to sing high notes, which is, in my opinion, far more difficult than learning how to sing low notes. A lot of low notes, especially low chest range, is really a natural setting. You can improve the volume and quality and power of your low range, the notes you do have, but I tell all the young guys this: the low range, how far you can push your chest voice, is very limited by biology. It will likely continue to get lower as you get older, but as far as making it lower right now, it's not a worthy goal. It's not. However, expanding your upper range is a very worthy goal. You can expand your upper chest range a ton by getting better technique, and you can also learn how to do a perfectly smooth transition from chest into mix up into falsetto. There's actually, to toot my own horn, there's a clip on my YouTube channel, on my TikTok, of me singing, whatever. People are gonna throw a fit about that, but singing from a C6, a soprano high C, down into a G0 chest fry. Again, people are gonna throw a fit. Not singing, whatever. Phonating on those pitches with absolutely no obvious break between registers, and that just comes from learning how to navigate between those registers. You really can make them all blend, and this is something Jeff does so well, and a big reason why I respect him as a singer, and I think so many other people do. Anyway, guys, this was the Oogie Boogie song, my reaction and analysis to it. I hope it lived up to everything you guys wanted. I hope you're still watching, because I've been talking for a long time after the video ended. So if you do, much love to you. True fans, the real fans, are still here. And I've got love for you. Trust me, I've got love for you. Guys, like, subscribe, comment, join my Patreon if you're really getting value out of this, to gain early access, behind the scenes, all that good stuff. You've heard it before. And perhaps I'll see you for another Halloween special. Perhaps not. Either way, the weekly videos will continue to come. Even though life is getting crazy up here with the Academy of Vocal Arts, I'm still pledging to get a new video out to you guys every week. And I also have a bass singer cover of Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo coming out, which I'm very excited to present to you. I love Olivia Rodrigo. I love that whole album. And I decided to do that song, and I think it actually fits really well in the bass voice. I took it down a few steps and, of course, sang everything down at least an octave. Changed a few things, did my whole instrumentation on my own, wrote a new piano part, wrote in an orchestral part, put in the drums, but it's not an a cappella piece. It's me singing the solo and some harmonies, and then instrumentation for the rest of it. That's coming out probably towards Thanksgiving, but it's ready to go. I've been rambling. I've been chit-chatting. TBH, I'm exhausted. I actually went to Virginia last night, auditioned this morning, came back to Philly today, so I'm exhausted. So I'm just totally rambling at this point. But guys, here it is. Thank you so much for coming to this. Hope you really enjoyed it. I clearly had a lot of fun. Shouts to VoicePlay for this amazing cover. Shouts to Jeff for showing us all his skills. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Take care.